Let's unpack some of the measures the government is using to suppress the Azimio wave. This is our conversation today here on Siasa Brigade, your go point on matters, politics and governance at large, hosted by yours truly, Richard Mwanja. Truly delighted to have you on board. With me on this conversation is none other than East Africa's renowned political analyst, the first of his name, Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, Richard.
Son of Luombe Vihiga.
Yes.
The biggest export to the world from that region.
I think so.
After Musalia Mudavadi, though.
Maybe.
Why do you like exaggeration in your own abilities? Musali is far ahead of you.
I'm saying maybe I'm not second to him. Maybe I'm 10th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Today you've chewed the humble pie, no. Finally.
There's no pie here, and there's no chewing.
Where did your money go? Because we are not used to this humility from you.
Yeah, well, life is like that.
People no longer oil your pockets?
No, nobody has ever oiled my... By the way, in life, let me tell you, Richard, when people read my memoirs, my autobiography, they'll be very surprised that Manyora, they knew, and me. I've never been helped by anybody.
A close friend of Raila Odinga?
Nothing. Nobody has ever helped me. Nobody. And I've come through life crawling on my stomach.
Even to those global stages?
Yeah. I've come on my stomach, not on my knees. I have a friend of mine called John. John says he has struggled through school. But he says he came on his knees. But he says, Manyora, I was crawling on my tongue. When people read my... they will be shocked.
When is it coming out?
You know, there are many things we wish to do, but resources. Writing an autobiography requires resources. That is drawing me back, but I'll finally do it.
Do you think it will be bigger than Jenga Karume's from charcoal to gold?
It will be a big thing. It's a big thing.
A big thing?
It's a big thing.
Am I in one of the chapters?
Pardon?
Am I in one of the chapters?
Yeah, footnote.
Really? You can't. I thought the first 4 pages are dedicated to me.
I told you I lost my brother.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That is the man has a full chapter. His life and my life intertwined. A full chapter. Life is tricky. Life is tricky. When you see people walking, you don't know where they have come from. So don't talk to me about people supporting me. Nobody has supported me.
Very well. Rightly put there. Let's head straight into our conversation today. We are looking at some of the measures the government is trying to suppress the Azimio wave with regards to this ongoing mass protest. And very recently, just the other day, we saw the arrest of ringleaders. We saw Babu Owino, Gaucho, president of the Bunge la Wananchi, former Mungiki leader, Maina Njenga, also been arrested, and the charges were actually put there for them. And it begs the question, we've had these times on end in the past, arbitrary arrests all over the place, back-to-back arrests. Do you think it's one of the cards that are still lethal for any sitting government, or they ceased to be effective to this?
You know, when the people in parliament, other than being blind to reality, they become lazy. They bask in the glory of power so much that laziness becomes part and parcel of who they are. If governments were not lazy, for example, our government, they would know those things don't work.
Even going for
even if they attempted to work, they worked in those 30, 40 years ago, and today they cannot work. Those are tricks in an old book with torn pages. Not even dog-eared, just yellowed and torn pages. So what do you... because I've been asking government to stop choosing the difficult route. You know, in life I've learned many things. Many things.
Is there an easier one?
I've learned in life, oftentimes, we want to kill ourselves doing things, which at the end of the day, if you sit down and ask yourself, was it really worth it? Every human being gets to a point when they look back and say, all the struggle, all the pain, the stealing, all the things we did to acquire what we thought was very important, was it really worth it? So I advise government, the trouble you go to sort out this mess is not really necessary. There are better ways, there are cheaper ways, there are simpler ways. I have reached a point in life where I don't want anything that's difficult. I just do things which are simple. And then I have discovered they even deliver better results. You get to learn when you go for simpler solutions, not cheap solutions, simpler solutions.
They don't make you weak?
Straightforward solutions, common sense solutions. What makes sense to the common man? Then things will just work well. So government can pursue that route that every dictator has used.
Arresting ringleaders?
Yeah, arresting people,
Firebrands there.
using police batons to hit people, rubber bullets, one or so stray bullet, really bullet. Those things have been tried. Wherever they have worked, it has been temporal.
Case in point, for Maina Jenga, former Mungiki leader, when the government is arresting him and trying to file charges against him, don't you think it's somewhat now resuscitating or refilling the political oxygen of Maina Jenga? It's now giving him even the relevance and vibrancy, other than taming him.
That's governments are always making those kind of mistakes, especially poor third world countries. What stature have you given Babu Owino now? Already by this arrest, Babu Owino is first on the line of succession in Luo Nyanza. Already automatically. By this arrest of Babu Owino, he's the automatic governor of Nairobi 2027. And we saw it with many other people. We arrested people, we did what to them. And now there are big things in this country. We denied people, we removed people from parliamentary leadership,
all that.
committees. Kina Murkomen, now he's a big man. And Duale, now I see him now, with generals and everything. Kindiki, but they don't learn. It is the laziness of government. When people get into government, they become lazy. They don't want to think. Those at the top listen to cheap sycophants. People sing their praises.
You do this to Maina Jenga, you resuscitate his voice in prison in Mount
so
Kenya.
you do this to Maina Jenga, who was, by the way, just wasting away, waning away. He had no influence. All of a sudden, I saw that at the DCI when he was arrested. You saw the crowd there and the songs that Yora Kikuyu. Did you hear those songs? Did you hear those songs?
They relieve the spirit of Mau.
The sort of songs, because I know a bit of Kalenjin culture and language. The sort of songs Mandago and these people sang in the middle of the road in Eldoret when it appeared like there are games to snatch him the gubernatorial ticket. Songs that touch people somewhere. And then Ruto, let's leave this guy alone. So why do you want to resuscitate things we don't want to remember in this country?
Very well.
Governments become lazy the moment they get to office. Yeah.
Very well then. And in the recent past, not recent past, but many decades ago, we saw a country that was experiencing a number of assassinations of people in the political world, Robert Ouko, Pio Gamapinto, Tom Mboya, Jem Kariuki, and you name them, many of them they're in. Very recent, we saw one of the respectable leaders in this country talk about assassination, which was closely linked to the talk about assassination of Raila Odinga. When we are having this conversation as a country right now, amid the rising political temperatures, don't you think it could take the country way back when we saw the assassination of Robert Ouko, the country almost came down, Tom Mboya and all those? Are we literally trying to walk to that path again?
No, it's bad. We don't want to go there. Let me say this. And this is for the attention of those who may be harboring intentions of harming other people. Not necessarily Raila Odinga. I've had time to reflect on things in life. I have come to understand many things. One of the things I've understood is that human blood is hot. My people say human blood is hot. Anybody who sheds human blood shall never know peace and has never known peace. When you shed human blood, directly or indirectly, you will never know peace. And as it is put in the holy books, especially in the Bible directly, the blood you shed shall not end with you.
It will haunt your generation?
Generations. And it is true. A close look at people who terrorized others during their heydays. Even at the village level, you know, people think I'm talking of big people. Even at village level, small chiefs here and there, people with small powers, they cause people to die. When you look at their family, after them, there's no family.
The sins of the father catch up with the son and daughters.
Because there is something about human blood. There's something about human blood. That's why my people may look very stupid. The phone is there again, eh?
Yeah, sure. To call anyone that you're going to call
My people, if you kill somebody, even if it's by accident, you cannot go to your home. You will have to stand in some bush until you spot an old man passing. And you are hiding in a bush, then you summon him. Very old man. And he shall organize for cleansing before you go to your home. People think that's primitive. When you read books like Out of Africa by Karen Blixen, and she's laughing at how Kikuyu seem to be taking death, they are negotiating, somebody has killed another one, it's like they want to be compensated by payment. She doesn't understand African culture, and generally she doesn't understand about life. Human life is not something anybody takes. And that's why when you cause an elephant to kill you, it crushes you into pieces, and it is crying.
Yet it's an animal.
And yet it's an animal. It knows you have made it do a very bad thing. And know what? Such an elephant shall not walk with the other elephants. They shun it. Just human blood. When an elephant kills somebody, it will be alone throughout its life.
Human life is sacred.
So when you read, like in African traditions, things fall apart about somebody having attempted murder, you are banished from your village and things. When you hear there's a clan in your area, and it's a strange clan. Everybody around is not that clan. You are told these ones came from where they had made something, they had killed somebody. So they were banished here. Human life is not something I would really expect anybody to be contemplating taking. Whatever the differences, whatever the competition in business, you kill somebody to make billions. These billions you live here. I keep asking Kenyans, look at the billionaires who have died in the recent past. Do people even remember them? I did that experiment.
They don't remember.
There is that place, the main gate of the University of Nairobi, near the synagogue.
Yeah.
You know, when you are coming from Nyerere Road, you are crossing that place between the synagogue, the wall of the synagogue, and the main gate.
Sure.
Opposite Anniversary Towers, Corporate Bank, and Shell.
That.
I was stopping people, and there was somebody asking them, so that I'm not abusing them. This guy will go and ask you something. Please, both students and Raya. I floated names. Do you know so and so? Oh yes, I know him. He was, oh, do you know so and so? No. And I was recording. There's a girl recording for me on the.
Some billionaires cannot be remembered.
People who wielded power in this country, not just money. You find 8 out of 10 people don't remember them. I don't want to mention names. People, hardly a year or two since they died.
Vanity.
The billionaires who have, if you ask people, do you know so and so? I had. So, and yet you can find a human being killing another human being because he's a business rival. Look at
the other avenues to settle your scores. Where it doesn't have to take one's blood.
Of course, even in politics, you don't have to kill somebody to become an MP. Because at the end of the day, what is an MP? That's a very useless job. It's a very tiny job over which people have killed the others. So, life must be understood in that manner. That human life is not anything you want even to imagine you want to take from somebody, no.
Rightly put.
Yeah.
Very recently, we've seen a section of Azimio leaders and supporters come and say the government is actually even going after some of their business empires just because they are opposing some of the government agenda. Very recently, one of the top leaders in Azimio, his company lost a very lucrative tender, and many alluded to the fact that because he's been opposing the Kenya Kwanza government. Do you think that's still a viable conduit for the government to use, or anyone who is not at in bed with the state to use, just to settle scores, going after business empires?
Richard, there's no honor among thieves. You know that, eh?
Sure.
There's no honor
among thieves.
All these people are the same. They're all thieves. So they can cry, woo, but they are the same people. But having said that, I would not fail to point out that the current government told us they were not going to use government power and government offices to persecute their enemies. But they may not be doing it, but there are indicators that that could be the case. So if people are not going to get business because they are enemies of government, that's not the Kenya we want. But having said that again, we must also admit that these people are the same people.
Mwizi ana majina mawili.
Ni wezi wote.
Mwizi ni mwizi.
Mwizi ni mwizi. So,
ana majina mawili.
There's no honor among them. They can stab each other in the back. Yeah, God, they're the same people. You get it?
I get it.
And most of them do not get these tenders in a fair way. That they know it. Even the one complaining, he knows. The days he used to get, he was getting as part of a cartel.
No merit?
Part of state capture. No, which merit? Try going into this
bidding.
Try bidding into this thing. You'll never get. However complex you are. It's a closed system.
Even those slots
of cartels.
Even those slots for youths like us?
There's nothing. Why have you
disabilities?
Which one? Nothing. They're just on paper. It's just on paper. And if they are pressed where maybe somebody is really hard on them, they just form a company
and get one person
that certifies the inaitwanga nini Agpo.
Agpo, yeah.
Yeah. The business still belongs to them. I have argued, for example, why would CDF money in building a school or government money be given to contractors? The same contractors roaming the entire county. School, bridge, ECD classroom, the same people. Why can't we just say, okay, we have put $1 million shillings for one classroom in Lombe Primary School. Are there any registered women groups here? Are there youth groups here?
Sure.
So, kujeni. Nyinyi vijana, you'll supply bricks. Women, you'll supply sand.
Interior deck kind of.
And the check from the CDF office will not be given to the school headmaster. This check, of course, subject to all the approvals and
signatories,
and shall be given directly to the people who supplied the material and who provided the labor directly in organized groups. I'm telling you, you will deal with poverty in the villages. Instead of giving this money meant for projects to contractors, and they are the same people.
Roaming in
you cannot penetrate the county. Every county has the same contractors using different company names and huyo mchezo.
Even during different administrations.
Because the governor knows nikipatia Manyora sasa hiyo kati ya 10 million sitapata, huyo tume-establish how I get my 50 million, my 10 million. So the way to break that is to come up with new thinking that put people at the center of any government development. And if you do that, some of these young boys who are stealing every little thing we have in the villages could stop, because they're also earning genuine shillings. But we want to hoard everything, all contractors, put all the money in our pockets, and then complain when the young people steal our maize in the farm, when they steal our bananas, when they waylay us and deal with us properly at night. You know, we need to be pro-people in whatever we do.
To be pro-people?
Yeah.
And not just complain that the government is after my business.
So that man complaining about a tender.
He has lost the tender.
When he was the other side, the others were complaining. But they are the same thieves.
Mwizi hana majina mawili. That's the point whereby we wrap up this conversation today, talking matters, mass protests, and just the measures the government is trying to use to suppress the Azimio wave, even as the country's political temperatures continue to sour by the day. We really hope that we'll get the normalcy that we all desire as a country. Until next time on Siasa Brigade, I'm yours truly, Richard Mwenjo. Always a pleasure to have you on board.